I have something that I think we can do together. So hold on, I want to show this to you. So some of you might have watched my identity crisis video where I put together a list. It's an inventory, and I've been using this inventory for weekly goals and chunking down my days in a multitude of ways. And go ahead and watch that video if you haven't already. But what I have decided is outside of the gym, I want to do 100 push-ups a week, right? It should be easy enough to figure out. And I want to do 70 burpees outside the gym. The problem that I've been running into is that I am working so much that I don't have enough time to get into the gym, or not as much time as I would like. So I'm taking these micro breaks and breaking up my day into these little tiny workouts. And starting small is usually what helps me in doing that. So if I made a goal of doing 100 push-ups a day, I know I'm not gonna do that. I have tried breaking out the gate and doing it that way, and I know some people are really good about setting these bigger goals, but for me, I think these micro goals is something that we can all do together. So I've got 15 push-ups, 10 burpees, of course, taking my vitamins, reading, writing, emails, blah, 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 blah. Mobility is one that I added yesterday. The other issue that I'm running into is my left side is getting so tightened up because I am in the seated position most of the day. So opening up my hips, finding that 15 minutes of time where I can do some hip openers throughout the day helps me because I'm a weekend warrior right now. So I'm going in the gym twice a week for lifting. And if I don't do my mobility, I have so much catching up to do on the weekends for mobility that I don't get a good workout, or as good of a workout as I could. But if I break it up throughout the week and just do these micro workouts and hip openers every single day, the goal is that I should be able to get more done in the gym when I do go. So let's do it together right now. Drop and give me 10. All right. I'm gonna do 10 push-ups. 1, 2, no, my goal was 15. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And of course, if you can't do, just a straight push-up, if you start doing this or like this, just drop to your knees, right? Easy enough. Okay, next is burpees. So if you do this one with me, you are a champion. I absolutely hate burpees, but you know what? They spike the heart rate. There's a really easy way to get the heart rate spiked. And it's a great addition if you are doing these little micro workouts. All right, so let's go. Oh, I really like this thing. My big old baby. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! And if your heart rate isn't spiking after 10 burpees, you're a fucking animal. And just do more. All right, so let's get to those hip openers. So one is putting your front leg at a 90 and your back leg at a 90. And I like to do a dynamic move. It just helps me in my nervous system. I don't know if I just have a slow nervous system or what, but it really helps me even before I do static stretching to do some dynamic movements. I know a lot of people say start out with static. I just tend to start out with more dynamic. I mean, either one's fine, just figure out what works for you. So I like to come forward here and then here, here, then here. And then I will also try to, if you can, come back here and raise, come back down. So these are all just different variations you can do to try to get that hip capsule opened up from all that sitting throughout the day. It's a great move. Also, windshield wipers, going back and forth here. You can also use your hands. Like last night before I went to bed, I was super sore. So I was really stiff, so I did it this way. This is an easier starting point versus coming from here. Just doing 10 to 20 each side should be enough. Then of course your classic hip flexor stretch, any kind of variation here, just depending on how tight you are. The idea is you want to tighten your glutes and stretch through this way. If you're too tight for that, even just finding wherever your stretch is, you might even find that you're getting a quad stretch. I certainly do get some quad stretches out of this, especially if I'm super tight. Like I said, I've been sitting a lot. So just getting into this stretch and even making this a dynamic movement by going back and forth, and you can even come back into a sit and come forward, back into a sit. And I'll even do some dynamic movements here to stretch out those hammies. All right, those are just some simple, should take you about 15 minutes to get through those if you do a good job. There's certainly more, lots of options on YouTube. You can just Google hip openers and glute activation exercises, and any of those should do just fine for opening up those hips. There's certainly a lot of shoulder movements you can do as well. Super important to get those shoulders back and down, as they say, since we're all hunched over working on our computers. So keep all that in mind. Hopefully you're joining me on this challenge, and let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Please share this with someone that you think would enjoy this challenge and these micro exercises and suggestions, and I will see you soon.